So what I'm basically trying to get at is you're more open to realizing that talking to someone, and I say this in class, is showing that you really value yourself.
Well, the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on, which it has to do with cognitive biases, was negativity bias.
Oh, yeah.
Revolving around trauma. So how might someone who's experienced trauma in whatever aspect, in whatever form, kind of adopt a negativity bias, meaning I was in this traumatic experience and now my bias moving forward is that I will always have these traumatic experiences.
What I'm hearing you say is you start to believe that's the only way it is, and then you start a relationship, you start something new, and you just expect it's just a matter of time before it goes bad or gets traumatic. And you start to believe, and this happens a lot with people who have had a lot of trauma in their life. And a lot of trauma that happens, especially when you're young, you have no control over it, right? Whether it's the world around you or your parents or bullies at school, you just had no control over it. And maybe you had a really, good view of life and you're optimistic, but the world just hit you hard. And that is true. Is that you start to reach this point where anything you try doesn't work, and there's a term that's called learned helplessness, that basically you learn that nothing's ever going to be any better. And that can lead, obviously, unfortunately, to people, having suicide ideation, thinking it's never going to get better, and it's this learned helplessness that it's not going to get better. That's when maybe you have to find that balance with someone who's going to say it is going to get better. But if you're in that mindset, we're like, it hasn't. You're feeding me a line here. So how do you break out of that negativity bias? I would think if you reach that point, it's going to be hard to do it on your own. I agree. I believe.